Alrighty, you guys, week 8. Oh my goodness. I'm like, where is time flying? But it's so fun. And literally the only thing I think today that is making me feel like time has passed since Nashville is that in August when we were at Celebration, and I swear that heat that we waited in line to get at an event center was like the hottest ever. I'm like, I'm never living anywhere that's crazy humid. And it's snowing in Denver today. We just skipped fall. We went to like from 80 degrees to snow. There was no fall. It's like winter here. And Laura left her house. It was 80 degrees. I'm like, oh no, it's winter. Bring winter clothes this week. So it's a little bit crazy, but that makes me feel like time is going by. But you guys are in for a treat tonight with Jen and Adam. And I actually was just pulling up the accelerated report in our back office for Laura, and I was showing her how you can look at and see if like your right team or your left team is leading with 30 days or leading with Premier packs or the value pack and the retention. I was like, well, isn't that perfect that tonight we get to learn about how to lead with the value pack? So I hope you guys are ready to take copious notes. But before we dive into the call, first of all, because they're going to do a ton of recognition because it's just been a really, really fun week. But Jen and Adam not only qualified for Disney over the weekend, they're close to 11,000 points, but they also are top 50 leader in action, which is like well on their way to top achievers, huge recognition. So when you think about who you're learning from tonight, like leaders go first. They're absolutely doing the do, and they're only telling you the work that they've already done. So I'm super, super excited and fired up for them. But Erin, I know your team is doing fast track with us, and I'm going to talk about something that you guys can easily duplicate, but some of you are like, what are you talking about? Or this and that, because it was something that our team did over the week. But we set a goal that we were going to have 100 enrollments in 12 hours. So it was basically, we did, groups of 4 groups. We were in competition. We were competing with each other. There were prizes. Travis Garza was firing all of us up. And it was like, if we all just enrolled one person, we got together and said, if we all just enrolled one person, like we can do this. There's hundreds and hundreds of builders. And we ended up with 41 people. And where some people are like, oh my gosh, you're almost 60 away from the group. I'm like, we enrolled 41 people in 12 hours. Like, it was amazing. And Laura had people at her house, and Ken is on this call, and Michelle Bina and Chris Marshall, and they ran a half marathon. Like, for real, they ran a half marathon in all this crazy heat and humidity. And then they got on the phone for 9 hours, relentlessly creating consultants, enrolling people. We were zoomed in. It was fun to watch. Danielle, who's on this call, 12 hours with her kids, dialed in, smiled and dialed. Mary Ellen, who I know Jen and Adam want to celebrate, what she was able to do in like a day, it was just super fun. And Laura flew in on Monday morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not stopping. I'm so excited. And I said, if we could do that in 12 hours, like what can we do by the end of the week? And so you guys saw the video I just put in from Cal that I told them we were close to 50. And it was like, if we do 10 enrollments a day, 10 enrollments a day. So I just want to encourage you guys to absolutely stay connected, keep with your accountability partners, more texts, more calls, more follow-ups, use the membership codes that we have, and do whatever it takes, because how fun is it going to be when they're like, this team enrolled 100 people in 7 days? And I'm not stopping. Laura put in an order. I've got an order to put in, like 3 by the week. So I'm just so grateful for all of you guys. And before I turn it over, don't forget that if you're in Colorado or even other parts of the country, check it out in the events page. But the Essence Tours are happening starting next week. So Colorado, they capture the essence, all of our social soirees in Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, Denver, Boulder. They're from the 17th to the 20th. And our Super Saturday is a week from Saturday. It's the 20th. So Martha will be here. We have Danielle Thompson and Lisa DeMeo. So you guys get that. That's going to be a sold out venue. It can only sit like 150 to 175 people. And I looked today and there was like 115 tickets sold. So don't wait. Don't miss out on that. Grab your tickets. And speaking of event tickets, NYKO is expected to sell out on Thursday. So I don't know if you guys have heard this rumor yet, but there's about 700 tickets sold to NYKO, and the venue holds 6,500. But basically, Isagenix is saying, like, you're either on the forefront or you're not, that you're like in the momentum, you're not waiting, or if you're missing the sidelines, sucks to be you. And so they're doing this big campaign on the 11th, a call to action to get your NYKO ticket, and they're expecting the event to sell out on Thursday. So I encourage you guys, get your tickets. don't wait, because when the venue is sold out, like that's the amount of people that can go into that venue. And then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I wish I had been there. And they're gonna be like, sorry, like leaders go first. So grab your tickets, get your teams there. And let's hear it for Jen and Adam. I'm gonna mute. You guys get to take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren. Yes, week 8, sharing your story and enrolling with the value pack. Huge, huge, huge. But first,
hey,
I want to
Adam,
start.
if you can, just talk a little bit closer to the computer. You guys sound pretty far away. It's a little quiet.
Okay. Oh, never heard that. Sorry about that.
He's usually super loud, especially when he snores. So sorry.
So is this any better? Does that sound better? Okay. All right. So I want to definitely talk about recognition. And yes, Laura was right when we thought Lauren was crazy with 100 enrollments in one day, but it was literally the most energy I've felt in a while. It was exciting. People were on the Zoom. We had Travis Garza connected in with us. It was so much fun, and I was definitely nervous about it, but it ended up being incredible. So Mary Ellen, definitely have to highlight that rock star right there with 6 cycles, 7 enrollments for the week, 6 just on Sunday. Went 1-star Silver Circle. Had a almost $1,700 week. It was unbelievable. Got an invitation to Lauren's executive retreat in Arizona. I mean, just rocked it out. Kristen Ronovic had 5 cycles, creative consultant, helped one of her teammates create a consultant. Brad and Paula had 5 cycles and created a consultant. Carrie created a consultant, and that consultant double PIB that week. Lauren wanted to highlight Ashley in having a huge launch party and consistently enrolling. On Aaron's team, Nicholas Wilcox created a consultant or became a consultant. Mike Jones enrolled 3 value packs.
Nice.
And the 2 of them are always consistently working and enrolling. On Laura's team, Chris Marshall had 4 enrollments, which is incredible. Angie Kitko had 3 enrollments and created a consultant. So awesome job, everybody. Amazing week. A lot of that happened in just one day, which was Sunday, which is hard to believe, but incredible. So we always talk about one of Isagenic's core values, and I mean, they're all very important, but one of my favorites is the purpose. So the purpose, and we also call it the why. And a lot of times people need to connect with the why and realize that, oh, my why isn't strong enough. And we struggle with that because, oh, I don't have this amazing, compelling story. But at the end of the day, it's what drives you and what motivates you. Whether it's the money that motivates you or you want to help other people, it doesn't matter what it is, but it just needs to be deeply connected to you. And I did a little bit of research through Isagenix and the purpose. And some of the quotes that came up and the words that I got were, the stronger the why, the higher you fly. So Isagenix is a trusted and respected organization that exists to inspire and empower individuals, families, and communities to live their best life through a journey of nutrition, health, and overall wellness. So the most important factor in reaching our goals is a powerful purpose or a why. It's the spark that ignites passion. With purpose and passion, discipline is never an issue. Dreams are achieved, relationships are strengthened, all things are possible. We know that a strong why improves our health, grows our business, supports our family, and helps achieve greater personal growth. We promote why, we create our why, we live our why, and this is why we fly. Right? So let's get into
the 30-second story.
Let me see. Where's the
right? But I love that, guys. I feel like that fits perfectly with a 30-second story because that your purpose has to fit into your 30-second story. Because if it doesn't, people aren't going to buy you, right? They're not going to buy your belief because you don't come from a place of passion and purpose. So hope everyone can hear me. I know I sound like a man. I was sick for like
it's recovering stuff.
A hot 2 days, which was really bad. So I'm sorry, hot mess here. But I absolutely love who on here already has memorized your 30-second story, right? You have it all written out. So you're like, I don't need to be here, right? Yeah, you don't know I don't need to be here. Well, the great thing is tonight, we're not talking about the regular 30-second story. And I love it because when Adam and I were talking about the 30-second story, I remember Chris and Rodovic send me something. I don't know if it was from ICU or if it was from a Super Saturday that Hayden did, but I absolutely loved it because he came from a place of, I would say, belief. Like when he shared it, I was like, this is not just a script. And it was so
natural.
real. Yeah, so real and raw. And he actually, I was like, where is that script? I can't find it anywhere. And Adam messaged Hayden and he got back to him like in 2 seconds and like gave it. And I was like, oh, there it is. Well, lo and behold, we're trying to like make this as applicable as, you know, it can be. And we want to connect everything back to our IsoLife manual. And when I opened it to like apply it, I was like, oh, it's already here. So like, it's exactly what we should be doing. And it just sounds much more real than it used to be. So the one that we all done is before Isogenics, right? I was blah, blah, blah. I was introduced to Isogenics by, I've been on the products for, as a result, I'm now, and then now I feel or believe. So this is probably what we've all been using. And this is great because right now we're going to be tweaking it more. We're going to be going back to what the IsoLife manual says. The whole thing that Hayden brought up like even 2 years ago, just making it more believable. So right now, if you do not have a paper and pencil or a pen and pencil, I love seeing Laura and Lauren together. Sorry, it's distracting me. I love it. Hi guys, I'm so jealous. Okay, so if you don't have a paper and pencil, make sure you do right now because everyone's going to be writing. We're going to do it fast, and you don't need to come up with your whole thing, but you have an outline. And then your homework at some point is going to be you have to put this in a paragraph, and you're going to have to make it real and believable for, you know, for everybody. First of all, come from a place of love, from your heart. When you're doing this, don't make it so scripted. Just so if you're like trying to do first, then there, you know, like we learned in doing narrative paragraphs when we were teaching, you know, or back in school, our teacher taught us, don't do it like that. Come from a natural place. Okay, so what you can do for that is, first of all, you want to be honest. Is your story honest? We don't need to fabricate anything. You don't need to say that, you know, you lost 100 pounds in a certain amount of days, which really isn't true. And maybe you gain back, you know, 15 the next week. Like, we don't need to tell people things that aren't honest. We need to be completely believable. So is it accurate and truthful? Do you give reasonable expectations? No one wants to hear that you made $1 million in 1 year or that you lost 100 pounds in 6 weeks. That's not reasonable, and no one's going to believe that. Never suggest that we give anything that can cure, treat, prevent, or, you know, anything like that with diseases. And don't give promises or imply that people are definitely going to become millionaires or definitely lose 100 pounds, whatever it is. All of this is in your IsoLife manual on page 81. So I would highly recommend writing down page 81 and 82. Those are the 2 pages that we literally already came up with all the notes, and then when we referenced back, it was right here. So silly us, we didn't go to this first.
Which is on Isogenics Business, and you can download this whole manual right through Isogenics Business.
We told our team when they came here last week, if you guys haven't downloaded this manual, you need to download it. Like, you have to do it. But yes, thank you, Lauren, 81 and 82. Okay, so the first thing you want to have is your background. So write down right now your background. What is it? Maybe you're a full-time mom and a teacher, or you're just a stay-at-home wife who's managing the house and also running, I don't know, your husband's business. Maybe you are, I don't know, a CEO of a company. Whatever it is, write down what you are. So it's your occupation, your background first. Okay, so everyone can write that one down. That doesn't take long. Okay, second one. What don't you like about it, or what didn't you like about it? Okay, and this could be related to health too. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, and ever since then you haven't been able to get to the gym as often and get the weight off post-baby. I know that's a big thing with all you dads out there too. You hear dad bod. I'm not buying it.
It's not hot.
You didn't push out a baby. I'm not buying it. Sorry. Okay, so whatever it is, just write that down. What didn't you like before that? What don't you like? Okay, so I was a teacher, and I didn't like that I was always stuck at my job from blank to blank. I couldn't be there for my children. That's me. What is yours? I love the example she gives on page 82. She's a full-time parent, not fitting into any of her pre-pregnancy clothes. Number 3, what opportunity or product were you presented with? Obviously Isagenix, but what did someone present to you? So maybe your friend said, hey, I've been using these nutritional products and I'm able to fit in my skinny jeans again. I'm able to have my energy back. I'm able to get my body back with gym, with working out, just with these performance products. What was it? So that's the third thing, opportunity or product you were presented with. Okay, so try to think about it as your solution.
And this kind of fits the old schedule, except it's more natural. We're thinking about that elevator pitch when you're going from floor 5 to 7 and you have 30 seconds to connect with somebody really quickly. Nailing this story down. The best people in this company are great storytellers.
Okay, so then number 4, how do you feel about your future now? So you now feel, you now believe X, Y, Z. What do you feel about your future now? You feel or believe what? Okay, so with those things, not right now, you're not going to make a whole paragraph about it, but that's going to be your template, your background, right? Your job, your health, whatever it was, what you didn't like about it, or what you don't like about it. What was your solution related to Isagenix? Okay, what was your solution about all of it? And how do you feel about your future now? What do you feel or believe? Okay, you are going to make this for not only your product story, because everybody has a product story, but if you're on this call, you have a business story too. Okay, maybe you just made $54, right? Because you cycled one time, or you told someone about it and you made $25. I guarantee you can make $25 for telling your friend to go to GNC, right? To buy some protein powder that probably didn't work that well or wasn't really healthy for them. And in 5 years, they're going to be like, I probably shouldn't have put that in my body. It had this chemical in it. Okay, so what is it that you can tell people then? So that's going to be your template, and this is what you're going to use to create your story. You're going to make it for your business story and your product story, because it's going to change. If I meet someone in a store and they're telling me they can't get off weight, I'm not pulling out my business story. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, one time I couldn't pay my bills. Like, they don't care about their bills. They care about maybe getting off the weight at that point, or they care about going to the gym and having zero success from it, that they're not able to outrun their fork like Adam with his. So you're going to have both of them. So for me, here's what mine would sound like as my business story, okay? I would say I was a teacher for over 10 years before having to resign once my son was born with a very rare and very serious health condition. But I knew if I continued teaching, I wasn't going to be the one home with him and taking him to appointments and being able to be the one in hospital. And it just wasn't happening that I was hiring someone else. But as the years went on, and the bills just seemed to grow, and one salary just wasn't really cutting it. So that's when Laura showed me how I can earn an income from home while caring for Jaden and earning an income helping others become healthier. After a lot of hard work, here I am 3 years later. I'm working less hours than I was teaching. I'm making more money residually than I was, and I have no cap on my income. I'm putting the kids on the bus each day. I'm a room mom. I'm working in my PJs, and I'm traveling more than I ever did because I have a flexible schedule. I believe that everyone should be able to live their life by design and not by default. Hashtag no bra to work. And I say that to every single person. I don't care if you're a man. So that is like my dream. That is my goal, is to get as many people home. And it sounds funny, no bra to work, but it really puts it in reality. Like, everyone else is getting up in the morning at 5 o'clock to go to a job that they hate. Like, I'm sorry, this is what I'm doing right now, and I'm really excited about it. So Adam, would you share your product story?
Absolutely. And guys, this is inspirational, not informational. Don't overwhelm people. Be excited. They're going to buy into your belief. They don't care. I've had people literally, I use the form method when I was really in the beginning and just brand new at it, like I use that form method to have a conversation, FORM. I don't want to get too much into it. It's in the page before in the ISOLife manual, but you're connecting with people, you're listening, asking great questions to hear what they want for you to say. They want to, if you just say what you have scripted out, they're not going to hear it. You have to speak in a language that they're going to hear, and that's based on the information that they're giving you. So I would say, listen, program, I feel incredible. I literally had one guy say, like, I don't even know what you're saying right now, but I'm in. Like, you don't have to say anymore. Like, I already want it. Like, you're so excited about it. But my 30-second kind of story, like similar, and I had to rewrite it tonight because we had it so scripted before, but I had always been looking for a nutritional system that could help support me because I was always active, always in the gym, but I kept feeling so tired. I was literally lying on the couch wanting to play with my kids, being like, man, I shouldn't feel like this. And I was unable to outrun my fork. 3.5 years ago, Jen and I were introduced to the most incredible nutritional program, which we couldn't afford, but honestly, I couldn't afford not to do it. I couldn't believe how much more energy I had, how much more intense my workouts were, and how much more comfortable I felt in my body now than I did 10 years ago. So I truly believe that isogenics is a foundation for wellness, no matter your age or your goals. So, I mean, again, it goes down to just being trying to be inspirational and, just sharing with people how you feel, because that's what they're going to buy into.
Yeah, and here's the best tip I can give you that I know that Laura and Lauren both told me from the beginning, because I remember they wanted me to share my story on a call and I wanted to vomit. I probably did vomit for like days. I was so nervous, and she's like, get out your phone, record your voice. I was like, oh my gosh, and just record myself reading over and over and over and over again. Well, I can tell you when we did this tonight, I even pulled out my one from 2015 on my like voice recording. I was giggling because like, it's almost still true. Some of it's changed, but it really is still true. I'm still here for my kids. I'm still making more than I did when I was teaching, and it's just awesome. And so I would highly encourage you to read your script, your thing over and over and over again. Like voice record it and listen to it over and over again all the time, because then it becomes like memory, and then you make it more and more inspirational, and then except for like just reading off of a script. So that would be definitely my tip.
All right, so now let's transition into enrolling with the value pack. And for some of us, we're really terrified of the value pack. Maybe we didn't enroll with that. Maybe we don't like talking about it. It's almost scary to ask somebody to spend $600 for a month worth of food. And yes, if you've ever been on a phone call, and I've done it, said, hey, it's $600, and that's all you say, you don't build any value into it because it is called the value pack. Guess what? People are probably going to hang up the phone unless they're millionaires. Like, you have to break it down. And Eden Slobin has the best script. I really like it. There's some amazing things that I take out of it. Again, page 8 in your ISOLife Success Manual, the entire is right there. I actually have it in the notes section of my phone. I can easily send it to anybody, but it's right there. But I kind of use like a hybrid system between Chris Harder's Overcoming Objections, the way he does a phone call, and the Eden Slobin together. So I will still share all 3 packs, but when it comes to talking about the 3 packs, I absolutely use Eden's verbiage and script for the basic 30 and the value pack. So I'll kind of read a little bit from it because I just like the way it's worded. But again, Chris Harder breaks down what you're spending on 2 meals, finds out somebody's budget. The goal is to match the budget with the goals and figure out what system that's going to work for them, and then share with them the other systems that may cost them a little bit more money, that might be an investment in their health. So Eden says, would you like me to make a recommendation on how to get started? And then you let them answer. Okay, based on your goals that you shared, there are 2 packs I would recommend. And this is where I do go into the 3 packs, because I really love the 30-day premium. I love the value pack, but I love letting people decide and figuring out where they are. Again, this is listening.
Hey guys, if it's them that froze, yeah, Ken, it'll probably just realize and pop back in just a second. So they'll know. Laura's going to text them right now. So hang tight. This broadcast has been temporarily interrupted.
They are frozen. Oh, they hung up.
They hung up. They'll call back in. They'll realize.
The long one.
Hang tight just a second. I'm sure they'll be back here in just a second. But I will tell you, I love what Adam was just saying about how she asked permission. Like, are you ready for me to make a recommendation? Because that means she's done the research, or he's done the research and, prepared them and done the discovery questions and things like that. And they can make the suggestion. Did you text me?
I did.
Okay.
All right.
So sorry. We
So
had
sorry.
to move rooms. Our internet just totally went out.
All right, you're back. You're
All
back.
right, we're back.
We lost you, Adam, right when you said, when Eden says, are you ready for me to make a recommendation? Like, is it okay?
Yes.
That's when we lost you.
All right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So, yeah. So, would you like me to make a recommendation for how to get started? And then you let them answer. You go silent for a second, let them answer. Based on the goals that you shared, there are 2 packs that I would recommend. And this is where I go in, and I will actually explain all 3 packs because I like saying the good, better, and best pack. But I love how much value that Eden gives to the value pack. So, the $9 a day pack is the basic system that still gives you all the products you need to have a great experience. The $19 a day pack is my highest recommendation and would be great to help you reach the goals that you shared. Not only does it include all the products of the basic pack, so you say it includes everything that I just mentioned rather than going all over again, but it comes with products that can help you achieve a lasting transformation. So then, and I've been trying to use exactly what she says here, but you get a box of bars, which you can use as snacks, whey thins, which are a high protein, savory snack without the guilt, a canister of the greens, which has phytonutrients from over 30 different kinds of vegetables, a box of vitamins. And again, that's the point where you can talk about the vitamins, the anti-aging support, the, all the micronutrients that are in there, and go into that just a little bit. The energy shots, which are, a healthy type of 5-hour energy. Our blender, $75 event coupon, product coupon off your next order, 2 free enrollment codes for your friends. So you're already billing in the fact of, hey, who do you know that would want to be your accountability partner? The system is called the value pack. So if you really want to do it right, and it works for your budget. So there, again, you're being sensitive. You're taking away the fact that, hey, if this isn't right for you right now, and then I also like to share with them that obviously you're not going to be ordering the value pack every single month, that the next month, it's probably going to be about half as much to support you as you go forward. So we help with that. So which sounds like the best fit for you? So at that point, in between those 2 packs, I like to talk about the 30-day premium. And again, I'll say it has the protein bars, has the energy, has the whey thin, which are your protein chips. It has basically everything except the vitamins. And then I'll go into the and the greens, which I can sell the value out of the greens all day long. I absolutely love them. One of my favorite products out there. I think that's, again, and that comes from page 8 in the IsoLife.
Yeah, he kind of wanted to get you the script. Like, it's like hard to like read the script to you and like you guys to be able to understand it. If you look in the manual, it's all there, but it's literally using the tools that we already have, right? That the company's already given us, and just memorizing or reading from it when we're on the phone, and really building the value of it. If someone's in between packs and you are able to, bump back some of your bonus to them, and it's not something we talk about all the time, do it. Do it, because it's going to be that little edge, that extra step that possibly is going to be the thing between them having a good experience and an amazing experience, right? You know that when someone has those whey thin chips on a cleanse day, that's like game changer right there. It's one of the things that Laura told me in the beginning, get the Ice and Delights. I'm like, I can't afford to get the Ice and Delights. I'm not getting the Ice and Delights. The next day after the cleanse, I was like, I'm never doing that again without the Ice and Delights. And I wound up ordering them. I mean, a la carte. Spent more money, but I saw the value in it. Not when she told it to me at the time. I just saw the dollars. But later on, I was like, oh man, she was right. Should have listened to her. And guys, really listen to what people are saying. I mean, we want every single person to start with a value pack, right? Like, of course. But if someone can't, don't lose their sale either. Whatever it is, get them started and listen. There was a woman I just told our team down the road a couple months ago that wanted to get started with the shakes. And I pushed and pushed and pushed the pack. Well, she wound up like going AWOL, not commenting at all. Well, what do you know? A couple months later, I see that she's pregnant. Well, she wasn't going to tell me before she tells the rest of the world and her friends that she's pregnant. That's really why she didn't want a 30-day. She really just wanted to use the shakes, but she didn't want to tell me. So it was something I was like, like it was something even now after doing this for 3 years, like I was like, okay, I shouldn't have done that one. I shouldn't have pushed it. We know that we got started with a small pack, and it was better that we got started with nothing. I mean, we got started with something than nothing, but obviously build the value and try to build from there.
Well, yeah. And on the other side, Jen connected with a woman who was promised, she didn't even know her, but she promised some other lady that she was going to start Isogenics, and got off the phone with that woman who only would, I won't mention the team, but only would let her enroll with the value pack. And she said it was too much for her right now, reached back out to Jen, enrolled with a 30-day premium. So it just, if you aren't listening to people and where they're at, and Mary Ellen started with just a shake a day, and we just celebrated her for 1-star Silver Circle. She's a crystal director. I mean, you got to meet people where they are. We were the same way. We shared a basic pack, and we're a pain in the neck for Laura on the phone. So what I did in the beginning was I listened to the Chris Harder Overcoming Objections podcast, literally 20 times in a row, wrote the notes down. We'll sit here and look at the Eden Slobin script and use it. I've also been on phone calls with Laura and Lauren. I remember Laura recently just saying, the Jim Coover, it's a foundation for wellness. And I really loved the way that sounded, and I started using it. So the idea is just to listen to these podcasts, write them down, listen to the scripts, go through it, and then start using it. At first, you're going to fumble through it, and it's going to be a little bit awkward, and then it's going to get more natural, and then it's going to get better. And, it's just becomes a part of how you do it. And when I heard Chris Harder, who's a millionaire in the company, say, this is what Lori and I do every single time, I'm like, why wouldn't I use that same script? Like, who am I to say this isn't perfect? And it has been very successful using it. All right, so let's talk about the homework for this week. So getting your 30-second story written down. So get in Isogenics Business, download the IsoLife Success app, or if you were there and you have it, go right there to, into the 80s, 81, 82, those pages, and make your 30-second story. Practice it. And then call 10 people and share your story. Ask them if you can share it. Not that you want to enroll them, but call 10 new people. Maybe you start with your mom the first time, or somebody that's going to be very comfortable with you. But use it on a couple other people and be like, listen, I know, I just want to practice something with you because I'm trying to get better at my craft. They're gonna appreciate you trying to get better at it. And who knows, that 30-second story, they might be like, that sounds kind of cool. Would you share with me a little bit more about what you're doing? This could lead to an enrollment or several. And then check out the Eden Slobin script on page 8. And then I would also say the Chris Harder Overcoming Objection. Yeah. Listen to it a couple times and start doing your phone calls exactly like that, and doing it for your team and sharing these scripts and podcasts with your team to duplicate.
Yeah, and guys, that's what's can be so duplicative, is if you are using these scripts and then having them hop on the calls and pointing out, look, I'm using these scripts. Did you hear that? And so that they hear it a couple times too. And then when it's their turn to do it, I mean, they're going to fumble the first couple times, right? And we still fumble a couple years later, but having them fall forward and having these scripts in front of them is better than you having to do their 3-way calls for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You want to point them back to something.
And it's what Lauren does with all of us. She points us back to the group. She points us back to the Facebook group. She brings us back into the conversation because she can't be the end all be all, or she can never move forward and get done and raise us up as leaders. So it's so important to do that. And it takes time to really learn that. But you have to point back to the groups, point back to the ISOLife Success Manual, the podcasts. These training calls are so important for that stuff. I think that's all we have for right now, Lauren.
Agree.
I'm typing in the homework as you guys are going. I just like made the post. I was like doing it as you guys were there. This is awesome. And I love that you trained on that new format and showed everybody where it is. You guys, part of the homework, we are saying the Eric Worre video, and I was typing in the chat as Jen and Adam were training. If you like literally just Google Eric Worre story, there's a couple different things that come up. One of them is him. And if anybody right now is Googling or wants to pull it up and even just put it in the comments of the homework, but the YouTube video is from him at GoPro teaching how he does this story. But then there's also other leaders that have trained it to their team. I completely agree with Jen. It just sounds more natural. It's more scripted. It's not that every single person is like, okay, before Isagenix, I was tired. I was introduced, and it gets so robotic, especially when you've done it over and over and over. But the part with this that's super fun is most people don't do Isagenix full time. And so it's very natural to say whatever it is that you're doing. And so if I were to ask, Gita what she does, and, she was to tell me like her full-time job, or I was to ask Rick, or he would tell me, or I was to ask Mary Ellen, like it's very natural for people to say what they do. I'm in sales, I'm in human resources, I was a nutritionist, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a coach, I'm, whatever that may be. But that way,
You muted yourself.
Lauren, you're muted.
Accidentally.
sorry.
I think I did that.
Yeah, Laura did. I didn't realize she moved the thing and it hit mute. Anyway, we're cuddling on the couch. But the only thing that I don't think you guys said, and if I missed it, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's like on our knees. We're like moving it around. I'm probably making you guys all dizzy. If you said this, I'm sorry. When I was typing in the chat, I don't think you did. But the thing that I really, really, really love about this, you guys, is most people want to end their story on the solution and on the high part and on the success. And Eric Worre will actually teach you that the biggest part of your story is where the problem is, because we connect through the pain points. And so people don't want to necessarily hear you bragging and how awesome that is, because they're not at that point yet. But the vulnerability is where you draw people in. And so if I were to share my story using this template, and my first mastermind group, this is what we trained on. And we did the old version, David Wood's version, and then this kind of newer Eric Worre's version. I was actually messaging Jenny Adams. I was like, hey, you should be a pro at this, because we spent like 2 hours just sharing the stories. But the way that it would be, teaching or something, I was like, oh my gosh, I've always been in health and wellness. I was a nutritionist, I was a trainer. And I said, but the problem was I couldn't help as many people as I wanted to. Like there was only so many hours in a day that I was limited on the people I could reach, and I exchanged time for money. Like they were dependent on me showing up, and it was stressful. I had anxiety about what if I got sick, or what if I wanted to go on vacation, or what if my clients canceled because they were sick? How would I make money if I wasn't clocking in and clocking out? And my cousin, fortunately, had introduced me to this amazing company where I not only could help more people, that I would no longer was exchanging time for money. I could double, triple, quadruple my income, whatever that looks like. And you paint that picture, but the majority of it is on the heavy points of where you are struggling. And so if we think about Jen's story, and she's like, yeah, my background was in education and I love helping people. I love teaching people, but I had a fixed income. We had medical bills because of my son's health that we were buried in. I felt like, I wasn't being recognized. I felt like I was missing time with my kids. I felt that I was so creative or so innovative and no one was supporting me, whatever those things were. And say after I was introduced, and it's fun, but all of the things that really got that burning desire. And if we go back to the beginning of the call, when Adam was talking about like our passion and our purpose, and Jen was talking about the why and everything they're reading from the website, that is why you did what you did. That's why you're on the calls, but that's the part we're telling people, not the success. They're not there yet, and the pain points and the vulnerabilities. So when you watch the video, just know he'll talk to you about the longest part of your story is section 2. It's where the problem is, not where the high is, which is where most people want to go, because we're more comfortable talking about good things than those points and being real and raw. And I just kind of wanted to touch on that. But you guys are awesome. And the other thing, the value pack, Eden Slobin's script is great. Another one, if you guys go into isogenicsbusiness.com and if you type in Trudy Maples, she has a video of how she leads with the value pack. It's totally different. It's another style, because Eden Slobin and Trudy Maples are both incredible. They're both millionaires, but they're so different. Like, find what works for you. Like, find which one is your flow. And just like Adam said, you know, the good, the better, and the best, you can do that option. I lately have just been offering 2. I just talked about this with my team when we were doing the 100 enrollments, that I'm pretty much offering 2, because the company will show you the retention is the highest on the value pack and then the premier pack. As soon as we go down the 30-day and less, we have way less retention. And so I'm treating this like a business. People only know what they know, you know, like they only know literally. And of course, if someone's on the website and they're asking about XYZ, they can choose. But when I'm just having a conversation with them, I'm like, there's 2 systems we get people started on. We have our complete 30-day system, you know, with all of your snacking options. There's a free blender, you know, this and that. And then the value, well, add in the sleep spray, the vitamins and the greens. But it's really like option A or option B. And I've not had any problems with it. And I'm not trying to do it in a disingenuous way. I'm not saying there's only 2 options, but I say what's most popular, what I found to be most effective, or the 2 favorite ways I get people started. I'm not lying to them, but then there's like just A or B. And the BV is higher, the retention is higher, so just consider that. But you guys are awesome. I'm super excited to hear some of your stories. And I would encourage you for extra homework, extra points, and I'll tell you I'm feeling generous because I haven't done a prize in a while. So kudos for being on the call, but you know I'm going to do this. But if you record your story and place it in the comment section of where I just did the week 8 homework. So if Mary Ellen is super brave and we're just share her story and record it and post it in the comments, anybody who does that before next week's call, you'll have something fun coming for you. That's what I'll leave it at.
I like fun.
Erin, you got anything? I feel like you always fired it up. I'm ready for you to like close us out.
No, Jen and Adam crushed it. Thank you guys so much for really hitting home with that. And get out there, guys. Get out there, believe in yourself, and know that you're the answer. You have the answer. You've always had it. So go out there and believe it.
Hey, real fast, the seasonal catalog comes out next week. So get excited about that. That should be a record week in Isogenics history. So start planning your holiday tasting parties, how to do some fun events. Like Ashley and Jeremy did a super Saturday where they all did these soup and crockpot recipes, but obviously shared Isogenics. Think about a fun way that you can get people over, that you can show how we can shop from our own wellness store and give holiday gifts. You know, whether it's Iso Delights, it's lotion, it's body wash, it's essential oils, it's diffusers. So be on the lookout for the seasonal catalog coming out next week and plan your parties. Bye guys. Thank you. Good night.